working on a Honda Yamaha hat. What is this? Tom's Chicken Adventures or Aaron's Adventures in Tinkering. Find out next week on $100 Restoration Challenge. I know y'all ain't gonna believe it, but I paid a round figure for this bike. $0. Hello, my friends. Welcome to Aaron's Adventures in Tinkering. Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. God, he's always trying to take over my channel. You got your own. Well, today, my son and I went out here and we picked up this bike. A friend of mine contacted me and asked if I'd like a bike, and I hardly ever say no because it was free. Yeah, I know it's kind of hard for several people to believe, perhaps, that I get all this stuff for free, but people know me, and for some reason they, I think, trust me. I don't know what it is, but I get a lot of good deals, and this is one of them. This is a Honda Shadow Sabre. I think we looked it up. It's an 1100. Obviously, it's got some issues. It's been sitting for a good long while. Well, that's kind of ugly. I didn't notice that so much, but whatever. The price is right. So we're gonna unload it, give it a quick bath, and take it in. We have a lot of other stuff we should be doing, but my son is just as ridiculous as I am about stuff, so we're gonna roll it in and see what we can do with it for a free bike. We did a little bath on it, rinsed it off. Kind of interesting how bad these wheels have gotten just from sitting outside. There's a section that I cleaned with a little Scotch-Brite right there. And then the same on this one. That section was about 30 seconds worth of Scotch-Brite. So this thing just has a lot of weathering on it. Same on the back wheel. I did clean one section of it, but it's in pretty sad shape. It's gonna take some cleaning. Anyway, so we took the seat off. We have removed the ignition switch and tracked it down to here. I looked up the wiring diagram, and the only thing that happens when you turn the switch on is that it connects all three of these. So my son has, well, this is the wrong, yeah, this is the wrong one. That's that end. He found the other end of this. So he found one in my bag O wiring goodies here, and he's twisting it together. We're going to plug that in, and then we're going to hook a different battery on here and just see if we get some lights and stuff and see if it cranks over. There's our replacement key. Want to do the honors? You made it. Just be careful you don't zap yourself.
Don't ground it out.
We're gonna plug it in there, and when he plugs that in, I've got a battery installed. Look at that. Look what we got. We got lights. We got lights, we got no horn. It's okay. No, I hear something happening. Turn signal's going crazy. Oh, that was high beam, low beam. All right, you want to do the honors? You want to see if it'll crank at least? Let's run. All we're getting is a clickety click, clickety click. Okay, so I guess we got to troubleshoot a little bit farther now. But that's good news. Look, we have a headlight. We got a tail light, we got turn signals. This side. That side's being a little bit finicky. Let's see if you have a brake light. Well, it probably is brake light, yeah. This front brake is completely gone. The throttle still turns, it's not frozen. All right, so we just have to find out why we're not getting beyond this click. Okay. We'll unplug this and see what we can find out. Okay, so we were concerned that maybe that lithium battery, which is kind of old, after we hit it a couple times, it already drained all the way down. So we put a different battery in here. We even put the booster on it. We still get the same, hit it, click. So what we did is I got the multimeter out, and then I pulled the cover off of the starter down here. There's a little rubber grommet that fits over that connection. And then I put the power lead here, the negative on the battery, and then when you hit the start button, we get voltage down there. Okay, that's good. So for some reason the starter's not engaging. We could try juicing it straight to that, which is not a terrible idea, but I think that starter might possibly be corroded and hanging up. We don't know. So we're probably gonna pull it out. I took off this cover here where the starter comes through, and this starter, you should be able to turn it by hand. So it's kind of frozen. This probably isn't the right thing to do, but we're gonna try to bust it loose with the channel locks here. Just rotate it a little bit, left or right. If we can get it to bust free, then we'll see if we can get it to turn without the engine engaged. There you go. Turn it like all the way through. There you go. So we're just gonna rotate it free, and then we'll put this, actually I probably won't put this back together. We'll just try to see if we'll spin it right now. It's got a tight spot. Okay. Okay, like I said, we're doing redneck garage here, but we got her turning free. Okay, so we're gonna put this whole mess back in here and see if the engine turns over. All right, so we put that back together. We're gonna see what happens here. Okay, so it cranks. So what we could do now, if we were dumb, spray some of this in here and see if we can get it to make some engine-y noises. We haven't even looked at anything else. I mean, I checked that it has a little bit of oil in it, but let's see if we can make it make some engine-y noises. Okay. Stop. All right, here we are at the house after getting the bike here. All right, it's sun's going down here. I think we're gonna wrap it up for the day, but we're gonna get another. It was pretty low on oil, actually. I thought I had checked it, but I think there was just some crap on the stick. So here we go. Carb cleaner, but nonetheless, the tank feels pretty empty. Unfortunately, look, I got a spider friend came with this. We're gonna have to pick this open. So I think we're gonna wrap it up for today. And I don't know, I'm feeling kind of more excited about this than I really should. It's kind of, we don't need to be messing around with this right now, but it's been pretty fun today. So I think what we'll do is wrap it up and come back tomorrow and see if we can't get a little bit farther on it. After a little bit of amateur lock picking, I was able to get into the fuel tank. This is the new fuel tank key. And it was dry, it was empty, a little stinky, but not too bad. And then I added some fuel, and you saw a little bit of firing and stuff from this thing the other day on carburetor cleaner, but a little bit of amateur lock picking down here too. And now I don't know if you'll believe this or not, but we've done nothing to this bike. That's running without the choke on right now. The choke is on. It's a running bike. Can't believe it. It's crazy that it's running. We got some oil leaks on it. It's leaking around here, this cover, a little bit. That was loose, but it's not really leaking too badly. A little bit of oil there. I'm gonna check the oil on it, and we'll come on back. I don't want to get too crazy, but I think we're almost ready to at least give this thing a up and down the driveway test ride. The only thing that's keeping me from doing it is this master cylinder, front brake master cylinder, which is completely seized. The piston is seized all the way in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain the fluid out of here. I'm going to remove this banjo bolt here, and I'm going to try to hit it with some air and see if I can push it out. If that works, then we'll put it back together and see if it operates correctly. If not, I'll come back and I'll show you some other ideas that I have. So what I did was I popped the caliper off of here, move that bolt and that bolt, pulled the caliper off, and using a C-clamp I pushed the pistons in. When I pushed the pistons in, that pushed the fluid up through here, and that pushed that piston out, the one that the lever actuates. Well, so I popped it back out, I squeezed the lever, it stuck in. So I just cycled it back and forth about 3 or 4 times, and then the lever was returning on its own. So there was probably just a little bit of crud in there. And then I bled the entire system out. It was pretty dirty. It's pretty dirty brake fluid in there. Getting kind of orangish color, which means water probably got in there. So at this point, I've got brakes operational, engine operates, back brake works. I think what I'm going to do is wait for my son. We just went out to eat a little while ago, an hour or so ago, when I started back in on this, and he's all tuckered out, so he took a little nap. But when he gets up, I'm gonna let him take the first ride on this thing because he's been helping me out with it. In the meantime, I'm just gonna do a little bit of clean up and put little pieces back on it for now. Little Sleeping Beauty here woke up finally, and the bike's looking okay. He asked where the key is. It's right here.
That's not the key. What? How's that the key?
Don't tell anybody. They might just come and take it.
Don't worry about it.
It's not the key. So I'm giving Aaron first go on running this thing. Now, right before he came out, I was gonna start it and run it a little bit, and the darn thing wouldn't start. I was like, what in the world's going on? And I was messing around with it. Then he came out here and we were both messing around with it, and I was like, man, I don't hear the fuel pump running. So I was looking at it, and I've done a fuel pump on one of these before. It's a real pain. But for some reason the fuel pump became unplugged. So I plugged it back in and now it started again. Okay, give her a shot.
All right, let's go.
Now this thing's not running right, but it's running. You want me to take the key from you?
That's not the key.
It's not the key. Might be a little tricky to get it off the clutch, you know. Just go this way here because the front brake is not still not quite right. Oh no. Okay, it's gonna move under its own power. Goes downhill okay. Front brake is dragging. I hope he doesn't get messed up. We'll come back when he's on his way back here, but he's a little braver than I wouldn't have gone all the way down there. We really got to do something about that brake. I can hear it all the way down here. Okay, I came down. He was just about to the house. I thought the brake was locking up, but the clutch was not. It was slipping, so it wasn't disengaging. And we were having trouble getting it to engage at first, so we adjusted this way out. But whatever we did, it adjusted itself back. All right. Jeez, it sounds like it's running okay. I can't believe the thing is running as good as it does. That's crazy. Okay, what'd you think about the Shadow?
This thing is awesome. This is like, for how much we paid and where it was 24 hours ago, this thing's awesome. Yeah, it ran really good up and down the hill for a while. And then
I think the brake is a lot better.
unseizing itself as you use it.
But unfortunately, due to riding it, and I don't know if it was because of that clutch thing and we just rode it, but I don't think that's enough to damage it. But the clutch is slipping now, and it's barely moving on its own. You can kill it. This thing runs pretty dang good considering we didn't mess with the carburetors at all. I think if the clutch plates weren't slipping or whatever's going on, I think we would be able to get this thing up to highway speeds. But I did some quick detailing on this. I'd probably spent about 30 minutes, and it definitely shows. And Aaron was not impressed with it, I don't think so much at first, but it's a nice bike at this point. All things considered, how much we have into it. But I think that's where we're going to end with this one for now because, well, actually, we'll go look and see how much clutch plates cost, but that's not going to be on this video. But dang, man, you believe we 24 hours,
So awesome.
we got this thing running and driving, and it actually looks okay, at least on this side. We didn't, you know, you can always do the camera stuff.
No, don't show that part.
Don't show the,
No,
oh, yeah.
no.
Oh, sorry. But
Never show off abilities.
not too bad.
Only show off for good angle.
That's right. But I think we're good. We're gonna pull the battery and maybe shut the fuel off and push it aside for now because we got other stuff to get done around here. But this was a pretty fun little project to waste some time on. If you're digging what I'm putting out, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. And Aaron always says to hit that bell for notifications. I always forget to say that, but thank you very much for watching.
Get out there and find your adventure.
Adios.